Greetings to all. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Beautiful sky. Beautiful sky. Even with the dark clouds. Landscape is, man, magnificent. This is Barbados, the place where I was born and to some extent grew up. I spent most of my life in other parts of the world. Those of you who watch my videos know I've been in Africa, but I've been in other parts of the world also, Europe and South America, Central America. But I always like coming back to this place. It's my foundation. Everybody has it. And that's one of the reasons why I want to talk to you today. Because not long ago actually, I was watching this video. It's one of the YouTube channels that I watch. He focuses on the interaction between Africa and Africans and Africans with other people around the world. Anyway, as I watched one of his videos this morning about South Africa, I was a little bit perturbed. I stopped making videos. Those of you who know me, I used to make a lot of videos when I was in Africa. West Africa specifically. But most of what you see in West Africa, you'll see in East Africa. The landscape is different. But I was surprised, one of the things I was surprised by is if I see something occur in East Africa, 3-6 months later, I see people in West Africa doing the same thing. Because the people actions, the interactions, it travels. It's like technology. Technology doesn't stay the same in one place. It will begin, a man might make a fork or a cup in one place, and that cup might go to anywhere in the world, and when it comes, when you see that cup returns, its shape is almost the same, but it's made of a different material. It might be heavier or lighter. Technology is just like the people, and I spoke of this already about this river. You can see it throughout my videos. I mean, there's a river that flows, and it flows throughout the universe. But if you see it, we are on Earth, so we got to talk about Earth. You'll see it in the people. How you can watch a video called Out of Africa. You see black people moving out of Africa around the world and then move back into Africa. And when they get back to Africa, their skin tone is brown, or what we call like the Caucasian. They stay in Africa for a little while and get skin tone is dark again. And then another wave moves out. And then 100 years, 200 years again, they move back. That river flows. It's like the river, the rain falls. The water flows into the ocean through rivers, rises back into the heavens by clouds, and falls again. That is the way things are. It goes with the weather, winter, spring, fall, winter, summer and fall, winter, spring, summer, and fall. It's not just on Earth that it happens throughout the universe. We have the same issue now, and we are moving into winter. You hear people talking about climate change, but it's a normal, this is normal. Some people want to blame man for it, but those are the people who want to kill off a certain demographic on the planet. And you can look up that for yourself. I talked about it already. But this specific subject of South Africa evolves around a group of Nazis, Zionists. They're the same in Africa, and the Nazis and Zionists in America, the Nazis and Zionists in Europe, and the Nazis and Zionists in what they call the Middle East. They're all the same. Hitler just one day didn't come up with the idea that about Nazism. The Zionist is what brought him to the idea. They supported him, created him, supported him because they had a goal. And you see the other day Trump says he is going to clean out Gaza. What are the Zionists planning on doing? Didn't they tell you they're going to do that? What was the Nazis planning on doing? The pure race, getting rid of all the dark-skinned people on the planet because they're what? The Nazis and the Zionists are the same. The Nazis were created by the Zionists. The Nazi is just a word that the Zionists created. Now he's going to South Africa and says, we're going to punish South Africa because South Africa is taking land, and they did worse to Caucasian people in South Africa than taking the land. Are you kidding me? Here is this Zionist that from Europe, the Dutch. Guess who the Dutch are? Read the history of the Portuguese and the Dutch and the people who call themselves Jews. You have to read your history. I'm always trying to warn African people about this foolishness. And I see it is, you get somebody who will warn you. You remember Bob Marley? He was warning you about the stuff that's happening today. And he was murdered because of that. People will say he died of this thing. Go right ahead. Anyway, you always get warned. My videos were always about warning Africans and giving you solutions. If you look at them, you'll see they always contain solutions to the issues. But there comes a time when the warnings are not to produce solutions, but used as evidence. And you might not think that there's a court big enough to judge you. But judgment has come. in 1939. Well, I'm not going to go back that far. Judgment has come in the form of one. People that are looking at Donald Trump and saying he is the problem, but he's not the problem. He is just the head, the one that you see. But behind him, the people who are pulling his string, you don't see their names. The family in Africa that runs all of Africa, the family in South America that runs Brazil, Chile, Mexico, the family that runs America, that runs what they call Europe, that runs what you call North Africa. All these are family groups with one head. And they come to the table and select somebody to stand as the face. And Donald Trump is that face. Now, it might look like a war between America and China in your eyes. But this is not a war. They are moving the seat. You know, Africans in Niger, Benin, they used to have this seat for the king. The Caucasian took the seat. Y'all gonna be laughing at this, but why do you think they haven't returned it? The seat is a symbol of power. It was taken from Africa to Europe. And Donald Trump is the one, there's always a broker, the one who sits at the head of the table to keep the families from fighting each other. But the seat is moving to Asia. And they have to make it appear that there's a war so that the world get distracted by this. Donald Trump and the people who pull his strings are that group. They're moving, but they can't just up and move because they just can't up and move. Just take it like that. It's never been done like that before. And history always repeats itself. I made this video to warn you about this. Don't get upset about what Donald Trump is doing. You know, what Trump is doing has to be done. It has to be done. Y'all better get used to it. And I'm here in Barbados and I'm watching the government complain about what Trump is doing. They had from 1971, when the US defaulted, until today to prepare for this. I mean, all Africans had it. But the idiocy and the wickedness and the corrupt theft, the thieves, they so focused on Steve, that they didn't have time to look at what was going to happen. And it's happening all across Africa too, so. But I was warning Africans. I told you 3 years. The 3 years is coming to an end now. And a new 3-year period is about to begin. And then you're going to have 1 year. This 3-year period is when the evidence is being recorded against you. Look at what's happening in Congo with the man from Uganda and the man from, well, actually, the three of them, not just Uganda involved. They're in Congo on behalf of whom? The same group of people that y'all complaining that Trump is running. That's how they getting the minerals out of Congo. War, distraction. I hope you're gonna sit down and read, study, and prepare for these things. Because, like I said, this is not just about the evidence against Africans. This is evidence against everybody. And judgment is often swift. One day, you see the rubber band being stretched, and people will stand there in front of that rubber band and watch it being stretched. And then when it breaks, guess what happens? You ever pull the rubber band and see both your hands get hurt? You're watching that rubber band being stretched now. Right? And that swift judgment is about to happen. Or not happen, because it's not accidental. And when you're not paying attention to it, you get hurt. Peace. All right. Have a great day wherever you are. 3 years until that swift judgment.